Good morning and welcome to the TheRantSupply Podcast. This is Paul, and it is a Saturday morning. What are we looking at? February 24th. So we're almost to March. There's been a lot going on in the world, of course. There always is. Probably at the forefront of the media is Donald J. Trump, because he's always at the forefront of the media. And Q Anon is kind of big deal right now. If you don't know anything about Q Anon, check out QAnonPosts.com. QAnon, QAnon Posts.com. That has all the QAnon posts on it. And QAnon is an insider in the Trump administration, or the Trump orbit, one way or the other, who has been, leaving breadcrumbs, or at least that's how QAnon would explain it. Bringing attention to certain matters that are attention worthy. I mean, they just simply are. This thing with QAnon has been like a real-life game of Clue. I mean, much better than that. This is a conspiracy theory folding out in the most dramatic Hollywood type of way, but for real, kinda. Since everything about this Russia investigation has been a parody and we're talking about something that, to say that Russia interfered with our election. So if you don't know what actually happened, we're talking about memes. We're talking, in most cases, about very harmless memes. Sometimes there's some shit with, Hillary for prison or whatever, stuff like that. But we're talking about an internet troll farm. Now, all I can say is this: if you actually believe that memes are an intellectual assault on our nation or on you personally, you simply do not have any spare intellect to be allowing these horrible pieces of primarily satirical or comedic art, and now that's a crime. If you don't believe, now granted, these are Ruskies, they don't live in America, and they're not, they don't have the wonders of the First Amendment, because what they do, a Rusky, someone from the big red scare nation of Russia, who have been attempting through all of this hypocritical, hyperbolic horse shit that has been the Russia investigation. Lost my train of thought. That's terrible. Anyway, what's happened is this has been the most propagandist display in history. You've got Jerry Nadler going on the news and comparing, like I said, these are fucking memes, people. That is what we are talking about. We are not, this is not Taliban talk. This is, was it divisive? Of course it's divisive. What does that say about us as a society? That the goddamn 21st century version of Calvin and Hobbes has ripped us apart like no other. It's retarded. And of course, yes, that's a politically incorrect term. You know what? Take the handicapped card out of every word, and they're just words. Retarded has a meaning that is not solely linked to the mentally disabled. So before anyone decides to get offended about the word retarded speaks to slow or backwards thinking. That is what this behavior is. It is you are doing yourself a disservice if you do not at least verify the content for your outrage before you choose to go on a tangent about that outrage. I know I'm not the best example of this. I just lost my own train of thought. I get it. I'm just trying to make sense of everything, and I think that everyone else is just trying to make sense of everything. Now, do I love Donald Trump? Okay, I don't love the guy. I think he's actually been doing a pretty bang-up job in the face of what he's been doing. I mean, let's take away all the political nonsense, all of the... I love the political theater. It is so engrossing. It sucks you in, and it doesn't let go. And yeah, it's great, because CNN, to them guys, they... the line for me with the media was when people began attacking Julian Assange and WikiLeaks as being Russian conspirators, when name another credible news source that has never, ever had to print or state a retraction. When you can do that, and you have a group of political news sources headed by the astounding efforts of CNN and MSNBC and Rachel Maddow and whoever the hell it is, the guy who, whatever, I don't know. I literally don't know who these people are anymore, because this is childlike hysteria. This is absolutely childlike hysteria. Jerry Nadler's statements when he compared the Russian attack to what was it? To the Pearl Harbor. Yes. He literally made this comparison, this onslaught of memes that I don't know what they averaged, but I'm pretty sure it was like, I saw one of them had 13 views. Yeah, this horrifying social onslaught that we have so heroically fought through and seen our way through to the other side, to be just fucking hateful toward one another because of dumb shit that people used to try to erase. Like, hey, you know what? If you do not have some sort of reverence for Martin Luther King Jr., you're a fucking racist. You just are. To me, that's the line. Martin Luther King Jr. fought in a stand of defiance, non-aggressively. He just took the ass whoopings for freedom. That's a hero, man. I mean, that's a hero. But listen again to the message. If you equate Martin Luther King's message with Black Lives Matter message, you're wrong. It's Martin Luther King Jr. wanted to erase the boundaries, the artificial boundaries in our minds that were related to something so trivial as skin color, as race. He wanted to erase those boundaries. He wanted freedom and liberty for everybody. And most importantly, he wanted equality. And equality is an incredibly important thing. And if a white male, like, say, myself, were to grow up in a world where racism has definitely played a part throughout my entire life, I've seen a dramatically declining culture of racism. I think that the lines that separate society culturally in the United States, especially racially, have all but disappeared. If you're a white guy and you can't get along with a black guy because he's black, even though he's cool as shit, you're a racist. But on the other token, if you're a black guy and you think that white people are bad because they're oppressive, you're a racist. Because I've never had the means to oppress anyone. And there's been a lot of people who've never had the means to oppress anyone. Now, I'm not going to make any assumptions or presumptions about whether or not I could take the high road had I had those means. I don't know. Perhaps my melanin levels in my skin, maybe they have a predeterminative effect, where had I been in some authority throughout my life, perhaps I would have abused those with such blessings that I've gotten in my life. I do consider it a blessing to have been born in the United States of America when I was born. I do consider it a blessing to have been born a white male. I am proud to be a white male. I believe if you're a black female, you should be proud to be a black female. And I don't believe that my pride in what I am, in what I had no input about what I entered this world as. So the hand that I have, sometimes it's rough. Sometimes I wish that I could trade in. But I can't. I've been given the life that I've been given, and everyone's been given the life that they've been given. So I think that the responsible thing to do, which, hey man, I fight to do the best thing that I know how every day. And I think that that's the vast majority of everyone in the world, I think. I believe that there's very few people that look in the mirror and see a bad guy or a bad woman. I don't think that that's really how it works. I think that most people who take up the jihad or whatever, they believe they're doing the right thing. And that, man, belief is culturally determined. Belief is absolutely culturally determined. Now, you can stray away from culture and be an individual, and thereby being an individual, you can see things objectively, and maybe your view changes at some point. But I think that everyone wants freedom, regardless. I think that freedom it's a righteous goal. I think fairness, in